So, Mickey, thank you very much for taking the time to sit down on Podcast of the Day. We are on our little island tour, thanks to OLY Clothing. Mm-hmm. But to come on an island tour, you kind of only really need to come to one box. And you all turn up here. It's great.
That's true.
Yeah, what is it about the environment in Ireland that just seems to make the most out of the athletes here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know, whatever they're eating. Huh? 80-20 is probably the main hub in the north of Ireland anyway for get-togethers for all the Northern Ireland athletes. But then again, you have people like Army there from Cork's up here today as well, so they all come up here. And then down in the likes of Dublin there, we'd meet the odd time down in the likes of Rob Flanagan's gym. So there's definitely a good few spots.
Okay, tell me a little bit about you, because I guess for the wider CrossFit community outside of Ireland, you've massively burst onto the CrossFit Games scene this year because of national champions. Yeah. But what were you doing before all
that? So in terms of before this year, I've been doing CrossFit for about 4.5-5 years. So before that, it would have been Gaelic football. Gaelic football would have been my main sport growing up.
Gaelic football?
Gaelic football. Do you know what that is?
Briefly tell me rules. I think it's like a mixture of like
you could say it's a mixture of
football and rugby and maybe something with lacrosse.
Rugby, like the Australian rules football. Have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a mixture of that.
Every sport in the world.
So yeah, you can handle the ball. You can only take so many steps before you have to solo the ball and back into your hands again. So it's mostly a carrying sport, so it's kind of a wee bit like rugby. You get a point for kicking the ball over the bar and 3 points for kicking the ball in the back of the net. And teams of, usually 15 against 15, so it's quite a big field.
Yeah, well, same as rugby, isn't
it? Yeah, that's right.
So how does that lead you into CrossFit then? How did that transition you into CrossFit?
I was playing football at university, while I was at university, but as you know, you get less and less time to commit to travel and stuff, where most team sports are like. So I came across CrossFit on YouTube. Basically, seen this YouTube.
I hear this so often. Like people watch a bit of YouTube and go, "Oh, I'll give that a go." Oh, it's called CrossFit.
Yeah. 2014, I think the CrossFit Games highlight reel was up on YouTube, and I seen that, and straight away, what is this wizardry? Googled CrossFit gyms in Belfast, and on I went. That was it.
But like, had you done any of that kind of training before? Like, were you doing like Olympic lifting for the Gaelic football?
No Olympic lifting, no gymnastics, just your basic strength training. You know, what would you call it? Bodybuilding style training.
Bodybuilding.
Strength and conditioning. So doing that, and then it definitely stands by you going into the sport, because if you have any sort of strength, then going in, you usually take it fairly quickly. You know, and the football basically kept your engine good, so you also had good running and good general fitness.
Yeah, I was speaking to your coach Neil Laverty earlier, and he was saying that when you guys met, your overall fitness was the reason, or a big reason why he thought you could do so well in this sport. And assuming you can attribute all of that to Gaelic football.
Yeah, well, some of it definitely to Gaelic football. I was probably only doing CrossFit about 9 months to a year before I came on board with Neil, so I was basically just an average CrossFitter. Like I wasn't winning any competitions. Before I came on board with him, me and PD actually competed at a local competition, the Titanic Games in Belfast, and he was on the 80-20 regionals team, so he was going to regionals that year, and it was basically a couple of the top boys in Northern Ireland all competing. So PD won the comp and I came second, so maybe that is what's shone a bit of light on it. Maybe I was on his heels.
Well, like you both have been like probably for the majority of, I mean we call it CrossFit career, it's not really a career, is it? But for most of your CrossFit journey, take me back to last year when we found out that you could qualify for the CrossFit Games by being a national champion. Suddenly, this opens up doors to the Open, doesn't it? It makes it so much more achievable. What was your goal going into that Open? Assuming at that point you were going for a regional spot, right, as opposed to national champions. We didn't know about it yet.
We did find out fairly late on. So the previous season, 2018 season, I missed out in regionals by one spot. So the goal immediately then was for next season, it was to not even just get into the top 20, but push well into the top 20. So that was the goal for the following season. But it wasn't until around The Open last year was in February. It wasn't until around nearly November, December time that you found out that actually it's going to be whoever comes first in Ireland will get the spot to go. So saying that didn't make me think straight away, oh, you're definitely going now. You only have to be first in Ireland. Ireland's got such a high calibre of athletes. Yeah, like Army was a regionals athlete, Jamie Heaton, Sam Stewart, all regionals, PD. And then there was a load of boys just there in the bubble, including myself. So I definitely didn't look upon it as if, oh, this is going to be a walk in the park type thing, you know. Did
it come as a shock that you did so well?
No, like I was training hard and a lot of the workouts fell, you know, to my strengths. So I knew, you know, I could definitely take it, you know, if you know what I mean. Last season, I think I was about 3 or 4 points clear by the time the last week came around. So I had it well in the bag, I think, without sounding too confident.
Tell me about that entire experience, because for like a rookie, I mean, it's a big competition. There are cameras, there's the Zeus rig, there's Stash. Like it's kind of like a playground, but a very stressful one.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Like you basically be watching all the documentaries on Netflix and YouTube all the time, and you're watching these as if these, you know, your heroes, you know, of the sport. And
Who was your hero?
Who would have been? It would have been Rich Froning definitely back in the day, and then as the sport progressed, then Matt Fraser became the main man. Josh Bridges.
Yeah,
he's a funny wee guy. Like he's a legend.
I want to be his best mate.
Yeah, all them legends. Dan Bailey and there's loads of them now.
How many of them are your mates now?
Oh, I don't know. Like you get chatting away to a good few of the lads while you're over there. Funny enough, Tia Claire Toomey is a very down to earth person. I found, like, we bumped into her out in dinner one night a couple of days before the games, and we're all shouldering each other, going over and say hello. Everyone was afraid to go over and talk to her, but we went over and she came over to our table and sat for about 15 minutes chatting away and having the crack, and just says enjoy the experience, make the most of it, and this is a previous champ and telling you, you know, to make the most of it and whatnot, and seemed very relaxed. Where other competitors, there was a couple out in the warm-up area, you know, you would try to have a conversation with them, maybe sitting on the bike beside them, and they wouldn't want to know, you know.
Oh, stress does different things to different people, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it, that's true, but that's the way it goes.
All right, tell me about the stash packs.